All right. Hey, everybody. All right, now here's 3.4 zeros of polynomial functions. The rational zero theorem states that your possible rational zeros are your factors of your constant divided by the factors of your leading coefficient. Your constant is going to be what number is at the end. Really doesn't matter about the sign, you just need the number. And your leading coefficient is going to be, once your problem is put in order in standard form by exponents in descending order, it's the number that's with it. Now, your factors of 3 are just 1 and 3 because 1 times 3 is 3. And your factors of 4 are 1 and 4 and 2 and 2, but you only have to list 2 one time. You don't have to ever list it twice, okay? Now, once you do this, you've got to divide. But when you divide, you're going to say plus and minus 1 and plus and minus 3 on top because that's your coefficients. That's your constants. And your leading coefficient is plus or minus 1, plus or minus 4, and plus or minus 2. You have to take each top number and divide by each bottom number. So, let me erase this at the top so you can see it. Now, you're going to say plus or minus 1 divided by plus or minus 1, plus or minus 3. It's easier if you do all the top first. Plus or minus 3 divided by plus or minus 1. And then plus or minus 1 divided by plus or minus 4. Plus or minus 3 divided by plus or minus 4. And plus or minus 1 divided by plus or minus 2. And plus or minus 3 divided by plus or minus 2. When you do this, the ones, this is just plus or minus 1 here. Okay? This one is plus or minus 3 because 3 divided by 1 is 3. Here, you have plus or minus 1/4, plus or minus 3/4, plus or minus 1/2, and plus or minus 3/2. These are your possible rational zeros. Okay? Now, let's do one more just like that. F of x equals 15x cubed plus 14x squared minus 3x minus 2. And I have all these examples for you in the notes that I texted everybody today, if this helps you go through them a little better, okay? So your constant is -2 and your leading coefficient is 15. So the factors of 2 are just 1 and 2. The factors of 15 are 1 and 15 and 3 and 5. So 1, 2 divided by 1, 15, 3, and 5. Now, this one's a little long, okay? So plus or minus 1 divided by plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2 divided by plus or minus 1. So we basically have used this one. Now, plus or minus 1 divided by plus or minus 15, and plus or minus 2 divided by plus or minus 15. So we've used this denominator. Plus or minus 1 divided by plus or minus 3, and plus or minus 2 divided by plus or minus 3. We've used this one. And this is plus or minus 1 divided by plus or minus 5, and plus or minus 2 divided by plus or minus 5. So here, you've got plus or minus 1, plus and minus 2, plus and minus 1/15, plus and minus 2/15, plus and minus 1/3, plus or minus 2/3, plus or minus 1/5, and plus or minus 2/5. These are all possible zeros. Okay? Now, the next thing we're going to do just takes that another step further. I'm sorry for this horrible board.